Hello viewers, welcome to the lecture series of SSC Quantitative Aptitude. This is your tutor Keshav Agarwal and this is lecture number 4 on averages. So in today's lecture, we are going to solve some problems on average. So let's get started with our first problem. In a class of 80 students, 60% participate in games and rest do not. The average weight of the former group is 5% more than the latter group. If the average weight of all students is 51 and 1 upon 2, then what is the average weight in kgs of the former group? So, in this question, we are given that there are 80 students in a classroom, and out of which 60% participate in games and rest do not. That means 40% students do not participate in games. So the average weight of the former group is 5% more than that of latter group. So a relation around weight between these two groups is given to us. So if the average weight of all students is 51 or 1 upon 2, so this is the average weight of all the students, then what is the average weight of the former group? So that is what we are interested in. So the concept that will be useful in this question is taking ratio of a percentage of participation, then it will become easy for taking average. We can consider any easy number of calculation. So let us move on to solution. So we are going to divide the question into two parts, into two tables. The first one is the former group and second is latter group. And the former group was 60% that played games, and the second is 40% that do not play any games. So their ratio is 3 is to 2, and the ratio of their mean is 21 is to 20. So this represents the ratio here. So, using this data, the combined average will be 21 into 3 plus 22 into 2 upon 5, which is equal to 103 upon 5. So, the combined average we calculated is 3103 upon 5, and which is already given to us, that is 51.5. Correct? So, now the required average for the former group will be 51 into 5 into 5 into 21 upon 103, that is 52.5 kgs. So the correct option here will be option number D, 52.5 kgs. Let us move on to question number 2. The average score in mathematics of 90 students of section A and B of class 11th was 63. So there are 90 students which are divided in section A and B, and their average score of mathematics is 63. So number of students in A were 10 more than that of B. So if suppose there are 10 students in B, then there will be 20 students in A. That is what they are trying to convey to us. So the average score of students in A was 30% more than that of students in B. So what is the average score of students in B? So this is what we want to find in this question. So again, the concept here we will use is ratios. We will take the average in ratios. So for A, the number of students will be 40, because it is already given that the number of students combined in section A and B is 90, and it is also known that A has 10 more students than B. So obviously the number of students in A is going to be 50 and number of students in B is going to be 40. So their ratios is going to be 5 is to 4, and their ratios, average ratios, ratios, averages in ratios is going to be 13:10. So the average, combined average will be 13 into 5 plus 10 into 4 upon 9, which is 105 upon 9. So average that is given to us is 63, the combined average. So the final solution will be 63 times 9 times 10 upon 105, which is equal to 54. So the correct option here will be A, that is 54. Let us move ahead to question number 3. Given that mean of 5 numbers is 28. So there are 5 numbers whose mean is 28. If one of them is excluded, the mean gets reduced by 5. Determine the excluded number. So in this question, we have 5 numbers, suppose x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, and their mean is given to be 28. And now what we are doing is we are removing one of the number. Suppose I remove x5, and now I take the mean of remaining 4 numbers x1, x2, x3, x4, and I found that the total mean that I obtained this time is reduced by 5. So what number was removed? That is what I want to find out. So the concept that will be used here is total loss is equal to average reduced by into number of terms remaining. So this is the concept that we are going to use. So the first of all, the average of 5 numbers given to us equal to 28. Average of 4 numbers that is given to us is 23, because average reduced by 5 that is already given to us. So we can simply subtract 5 from 28 to obtain the new average of 4 numbers. So that total loss is minus 5 times 4 equal to minus 20. So this formula we have used here, minus 5 times 4. So the excluded number is 28 plus 20 equal to 48. So the correct answer will be 48. Let us move ahead to question number 4. The average weight of 8 person is increased by 2.5 kg when one of them who weighs 56 kg is replaced by new men. Find the weight of new men. So we are provided with 8 people and their weight increased by 2.5 kg. So there are 8 people, okay, and their average weight increased by 2.5 kg when a person whose weight is 56 kg was replaced by a new person. So we have to find out the weight of that new person. So the concept that will be used in this question is sum increased in weight is equal to number of person times average weight increased. So total increase in weight is equal to 2.5 times 8 equal to 20 kg. So weight of new man will be 56 plus 20, that is 76 kg. So the correct option here will be 76 kgs. Average of 25 men is 28 years. So average age of 25 men is given to be 28 years. 5 new men of an average age of 25 years join them, then find the average age of all the men together. So let us see the solution. The average age of 25 men is provided to be 28 years and average age of 5 men is 25 years. Okay, that is already given to us. So the total loss is 5 times 3, that is 15 years. So the average age of all men together will be 28 minus 15 upon 30, that is 27.5 years. So the correct option will be 27.5 years. The average salary of a person for the month of February, March, April, and May is 12,000. and that of for the month of March, April, May, and June is 3,000. If his salary for the month of June is 6,000, then what is his salary for the month of February? So we have to find out the salary for the month of February of this person. So to concept that will be used here is to simplify the equation, we will subtract the two equations for removing two unknown variables. So first of all, let us see what all information is provided to us in this question. So the average salary of February, March, April, May is 12,000 rupees. Average salary of the March, April, May, June is 3,000 rupees. So if I have to represent this information in mathematical form, it says the sum of salary during these 4 months upon 4 is 12,000. Correct? Sum of salary during these 4 months upon 4 is 3,000. That is what is given to us here. Okay. So I can write it as sum of salaries during February, March, April, May is equal to 12,000 into 4, and I name it by equation number 1. Salary, sum of salary obtained during March, April, May, June is equal to 3,000 times 4. So that is equation number 2. Now taking the difference of equation 1 and 2, I will have x February minus x June. Because when I do that, take the difference, this and this get cancelled, this and this get cancelled, this and this get cancelled. So only I am left with is x February minus x June. That means February salary minus June salary is equal to 9,000 times of 4, and x June, that means salary withdrawn in the month of June is already provided to us, that is 6,000, and so it will be x February minus 6,000 equal to 36,000. So on simplification, I will have x February equal to 42,000. So the correct answer will be D, or 42,000. So let us move ahead to problem number 7. The average age of 24 students is 15.5 years. The age of the teacher is 24 years more than the average age of all the students and teachers. What is the age of the teacher? So let the average age of all students and teachers be x. So we are supposing that average age of all the students and teachers to be x. So according to question, the age of teacher is equal to 24 plus x, because it is already given to us that age of teacher is 24 years more than average age. The age of teacher is 24 years more than the average of combined age of student and teachers. That is how we are able to write this. So the age of teacher is 24 plus x. So if I can find the value of x, then I will be able to know the age of teacher. The sum of all students and teacher is equal to 24 times 15.5 plus 24 plus x, which is equal to 25x. And so it will be, on simplification, I will have 372 plus 24 plus x equal to 25x. So 24x equal to 396, and I will have x equal to 16.5. So since the value of x is obtained, I can substitute in this equation to obtain the age of teacher, and it will be 40.5. So the correct option here is option number C, 40.5. If the average age of 35 number is 22, the average of the first 17 number is 19, and the average of last 17 number is 20, then the 18th number is. So here the combined average of 35 number is 22, the average of first 70 is 19, the last 17 is 20. So what is the 18th number? So we are interested in 18th number. So concept that will be used here is, in any sequence, the average of consecutive odd number of term is equal to the middle term, and net deviation should be 0 for sequence. Otherwise, we have to subtract the net deviation in the middle term for getting middle term. So moving on to solution part. So the average age of average of 35 is 22. That is given to us. Average of first 17 is 19. That is given to us. The average of last 17 is 20. That is also given to us. So we assume the 18th number to be 22. Okay. So the deviation of first 17 is minus 3 times 17 equal to minus 51, and deviation of last 17 is equal to minus 2 times 17, that is equal to minus 34. So the total answer here will be minus 51 plus negative of 34 equal to minus 85. So the net deviation should be 0, correct? That we have already discussed in the concept part. So the 18th number will be 22 plus 18 equal to 107. So the correct answer here will be option number A, 107. The average of 60 students result is 38. If the average of first 22 students is 36 and the last 32 students is 32, then the average result of remaining students is. So in this question, the average of 60 students is given to us, that is 38, and the average of first 22 students is 36, and the average of last 32 students is 32. Then what is the average of remaining students? So the concept that will be useful here is total sum equal to average times number of students. So the average of 60 students is 38. That is already given to us. The average of first 22 students is 36. Average of last 32 is 32. So this information is already given to us. So deviation first 22 number is equal to minus 2 times 22. So it is minus 34. Deviation of last 32 is equal to minus 6 times 32, that is minus 192. So the total deviation is minus 236. So the remaining students is equal to 60 minus 22 minus 32 equal to 6 students. So these 6 students are remaining, and we are going to find the average for these 6 students. So the average of 6 students will be 38 plus 236 upon 2. So that is equal to 77.33. So the correct option here will be option number B, 77.33. Moving on to problem number 10, the average of 33 number is 74. The average of first 17 number is 72.8 and the last 17 number is 77.2. If the 17th number is excluded, then what will be the average of remaining numbers? The concept that will be useful here is a deviation equal to number of terms into difference in averages, and the middle term equal to average plus total deviation. So these are the two important formula that will be useful while solving this question. So the average of 33 is 74. The average of first 17 is 72.8. The average of last 17 is 77.2. So 17th number is counted 2 times. Deviation will be minus 1.2 times 17 plus 3.2 times 17. That is equal to plus 34. So the 17th number will be 74 plus 34 equal to 108. So the new average is 74 minus 34 upon 32, that is 72.9. So the correct option here will be 72.9. Let us move ahead to question number 11. So in this question, the average marks of 50 students in an examination was 65. So there are 50 students that appeared for an examination, and after the marks was obtained, we calculated the average of those 50 students. So it turned out to be 65. It was later found that the marks of one student had been wrongly entered. So if entered as 83 instead of 38, so definitely it's going to affect the average. So what is the correct average? So in this question, the story is there are 50 students. Exam was conducted. Okay, 50 students appeared in the examination. So the average score was 65, but later it was found that 83 was written instead of 38. So what is the corrected average? New corrected average. So what is the difference here? 83 minus 38. The difference is of 45. Okay. So the correct average is equal to 65 minus 45 upon 50. That is equal to 64.1. So the correct option here is option number C. That is 64.1. Moving on to problem number 12. The average marks of 40 students was found to be 68. So 40 students appeared for a test and the average marks was 68. If the marks of two students were incorrectly entered, 48 and 64 instead of 84 and 46 respectively, then what is the correct average? So in the previous question, the marks for only one student was incorrectly entered, but here we have two students whose marks are incorrectly entered. So we have entered 48 instead of 84 and 64 instead of 46. So what will be the corrected average? So again, we are going to do the same thing. The correct value is equal to 84 plus 46, that is 130. So the marks, correct marks would have resulted in sum 130 and the wrong sum is 112. So the difference it created in the final sum of all the 40 students' marks is 130 minus 112 equal to 112. So according to the wrong value, the average marks of 40 students was found to be 68. So we have to make some changes. So the correct average will be 68 plus 13 upon 40, that is 68.45. So the average increased in this question, and the correct answer is option number C, that is 68.45. Moving on to problem number 13. The average of 100 numbers is 63. So we have 100 numbers and their average is 63. But it was found that two numbers, 37 and 76, are mistakenly calculated as 73 and 67 respectively. Find the correct average if it also was also found that total numbers are only 90. So this time not only we have corrections in the digits, but we have corrections in the number of observations as well. So the concept that will be used here is sum equal to average times of number of terms. So the correct value will be 37 plus 76 equal to 113, and the wrong value was 73 plus 67 equal to 140. So the difference it created is 113 minus 140 equal to minus 27. So this is the difference it created. So the total sum of 100 numbers is 60 into 100, that will be 6300. So this time actually there were 90 observation, not 100. So we are working this part for that thing. So the total sum of 100 numbers is 63 into 100. That will be 6300. So the correct average will be 6300 minus 27. So we are reducing the sum, the value 27 from the actual sum which was wrongly done by us. So it is 6300 minus 27 and divided by correct number of observation, that is 90. So you will get 69.7. So the correct answer here will be option number C, that is 69.7. So let us move to problem number 14. So the average age of a number of persons in a group was calculated as 35 years, which was 2.5 years more than the correct average, as there was an error in recording the age of two persons as 68.5 and 40 years instead of 29 and 27 respectively. The number of person in the group was. So this time there are some people whose average age was calculated to be 35 years. Okay. And later it was found that again we did error while recording the data, that a person whose age was 29, we considered it 38.5, and whose age was 22, and we considered it to be 40. So definitely there is going to be some change. And we know that the difference is 2.5 years more. So the correct average age of those people was 2.5 less than 35. Okay. So in this question, we are not interested in finding what is the new average, corrected average, but actually we are interested in how many people was there in the group. So that is what we want to find here. So the concept that will be useful is the difference in age, difference in average of different group to be taken and multiply it by final number of members in the group. So the correct value is 29 plus 22 equal to 51. So this is the correct sum of their ages. But the wrong value was 38.5 plus 40, that is 78.5. So the total difference it created was 51 minus 78.5, that is 7 minus 27.5. So the number of person is equal to 27.5 upon 2.5 equal to 11. So the number of people in the group is option number A, that is 11. Moving on to problem number 15. The average ages of a group of 65 men is 32 years. If 5 men join the group, the average of ages of 70 men is 34 years. Then the average of ages of those 5 men joined later in years is. So in this question, there are 65 men in a group and their average age is 32 years. And later 5 more men joined them and the new average is 70. Now the new average is 34. The combined average is given to us of 70 men. Then we are interested in the average of those 5 men separately. So let us see the solution. The average of 65 men is 32, that is given to us. So the average if age of 75 men is 34, that is also given to us. So the average age of 65 men will be, so the sum of age of 65 men will be 32 times 65 equal to 2080. Okay. And sum of age of 70 men will be 34 times 70, that will be 2380. So the sum of ages of 5 new men that join the group is equal to sum of age of 70 men minus sum of age of 65 men. Okay. So which turns out to be 300. So the average age of 5 new men will be 300 upon 5. So which is equal to 60 years. So the correct answer here will be option number C, 60 years. Let us move ahead to problem number 16. The average age of 18 numbers is 37.5. So there are 18 numbers whose average is 37.5. If the 6 numbers of average x are added to them, then the average of all numbers increased by 1. Then the value of x is. So we have 18 numbers and their average was 37.5. And we add 6 more numbers to 18 and their new average increased by 1. And those 6 numbers had average x. So we are interested, it is actually asking the average of those 6 numbers that was added. So it is very much similar to what we studied in the previous question. So the the details that is provided to us here is the average of 18 numbers is 37.5. And the average of 24 numbers, because 6 new numbers joined 18. So the total numbers will be 24 and the average increased by 1. So this time the average of 24 numbers will be 38.5 and the average of 6 number is given to be x. So that is exactly what we have to compute. So the sum of 18 numbers is 37.5 times 18, that is 675. Sum of 24 numbers is equal to 924. So the sum of new 6 numbers will be 924 minus 675, that is equal to 249 equal to 6x. So x is equal to 249 upon x. So that is x equal to 41.5. So the correct option here is option number C, that is 41.5. Moving on to problem number 17. The average weight of some student in the class was 58.4 kg. So we have some n number of students that is unknown to us. So their average weight was 58.4 kg. And now 5 more students whose average weight is 62.8 joined the class. And the average weight of all the students in the increases by 0.55 kgs. Then we are interested in finding the number of students initially in the class. So let us see the solution. So the difference here is 62.8 minus 58.4, that is equal to 4.4. So the total increase in weight is given by 4.4 times 5, that is 22. Now number of students is 22 upon 0.55, that is 40. So number of students initially in the class is 40 minus 5, that is 35. So the correct answer should be option number A, 35. Let us move to question number 18. The average weight of students in a group is 75.4 kg. So there are some students, n number of students, whose average weight is 74.5, 75.4. And later, 4 more students joined them whose weight are provided this time: 72.9, 73.8, 79.5, 77, 87.4. So these are the weight of students who joined the group. As a result, the average weight of all the students in the group increased by 240 grams. So after these 4 students join the class, the new combined average is 240 grams, increased by 240 grams. So what was the number of students in the group initially? So that is what we want to find out here. So the concept that we will be using here is the net deviation equal to sum of net difference in average and individual weight. So number of students is equal to net deviation upon increased in average. So the average weight of students is 75.4 kg. So 4 students having weight is equal to 72.9 kg, 73.8 kg, 79.45 kg and 87.4 kg. These are the weights of 4 new students. So the deviation is minus 2.5, minus 1.6, plus 4.1, plus 12, and the sum is going to be 12 kg, and which is equal to 12,000 grams. So now number of students is 12,000 grams upon 240. So it is 50 students. So number of students initially in the group is 50 minus 4 equal to 46. The correct answer should be option number A, that is 46 students. Let us move to problem number 19. While tabulation of marks scored in examination by students of class by mistake, the marks scored by one student got recorded as 93 in place of 63, and thereby the average marks increased by 0.5. What was the number of students in the classroom? So again, there was an examination in which the teacher again did a mistake while tabulating the data, and he recorded 93 instead of 63. and due to which the average of the class increased by 0.5. So what was the number of students in the classroom? So that is what the question is here. So the concept that will be using is total number of students is given by difference in marks upon difference in average. So the correct value is 63 and the wrong value is 93. So the difference is 30. So the number of students will be 30. That is the difference in marks, and difference in average is already given to us, that is 0.5. So the number of students will be 60. So the correct option here is option number C, 60. Now we are on our last problem for this part, that is question number 20. The average of n observations is 40. So there are n observations whose average is 40. If one observation of value 80 is added, then the average of all observations is 41. Then what is the value of n? So again, we have to find the value of n like we did in the previous problem. So the deviation here is 80 minus 40, but that is 40. So increase in average is 1. So n will be deviation upon increase in average. So that is 40 upon 1. So n is 40. So initial value of n was 39. So the correct option is option number C, that is 39. So I hope you was able to understand all the problems, 20 problems that we did in this lecture. And I would suggest you to just go through all the problems, all the concepts that we have used in the questions. And thank you very much.